Ooh, what? Hey everyone, I have a movie review for you today, a Blu-ray movie review for you today. It's called Enter the Dragon. It's Bruce Lee's all-time best movie. Um, I reviewed Dragon, the Bruce Lee story earlier, way earlier. Um, Bruce Lee is to this day one of the best martial artists to ever live, and he had a very very short life. But before he died, he made easily his best movie ever. It's the film in the U.S. that made him famous. Also, it's called Enter the Dragon. Um, Enter the Dragon is the story of a man who. What's funny is his name is Bruce Lee and his character's name is just Lee. So you can just tell that they were going for a character where like we don't want to name him, something that's just stupid or just a random name like John Smith or just a. We don't want an everyday normal name. We want a name that's significant to Bruce Lee. So I think they just figured why not just call him Lee. Um, so anyway, Lee is a professional martial artist in the film. Perfect choice for Bruce Lee. And he is asked by a group of people who work for the government if he would be willing to go over to this tournament on an island and take care of some people who are creating drugs there during this martial arts tournament. And because he's a martial artist, he would easily be able to get in and take care of this drug problem in between the tournament matches and stuff. Um, so he accepts the job. You find out later in the film too that the villain of the film killed his sister and I think some other family members of his. So he has another reason why to go to this island and take care of this problem. Um, while there, he encounters a lot of some of the toughest people he's ever had to fight in his life. Um, John Saxon from if any of you have ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street, this man right here with the brown hair, he plays the father in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. He is in this film as one of the martial artists. Another, some of you might know him. Some of you who are like my age probably won't know him, but a lot of you who were around in the 70s and 80s, Black Belt Jones is in this. He's been in a lot of martial art films as well. Um, Another thing to note too is this is actually one of Jackie Chan's very first movies. A lot of you are like, well, you're probably just saying that, but he actually plays a cameo role during one of the fight scenes, and I know it's Jackie Chan. If you look up on his Wikipedia page or any of his biography pages, it will say that he is like makes a cameo appearance in Enter the Dragon. Um, there's a scene where Bruce Lee is holding somebody like by the hair, and I think he kicks him out of the way or something. That's Jackie Chan as a young man. That was one of his very first movie roles. Actually, no, I think he like cracks his neck or something. Yeah, that if you for those of you who have seen this film, that is Jackie Chan. I swear to God. Um, but anyway, he takes care of this drug problem, and he has to fight in this tournament. The tournament gets to the point where it's no longer a tournament; it's just a battle for survival on this island because this drug problem is getting out in the air, and people are starting to realize that they're only there to just kind of make entertainment for this guy who's hosting it. Um, so it turns out near the end of the film, Bruce Lee fights this guy who's hosting the tournament, and you'll notice that he only has one hand, and like his other hand is like something like this. Like you never really see his hand. Um, but what he does too is like he puts things in it. Like he would have like a bear claw so he could like swipe at you, or he would have like a metal hand so he could just like hit you and hit you a lot, so you would go down without a problem for him. But for the final fight of the movie, he puts on this thing that has let's see if I can do this. Four knives on it, so he can just claw at Bruce Lee in this room. And what's really cool is this room is has it's just full of mirrors. Everywhere you look, there's a mirror. Um, and Bruce Lee remembers from one of his instructors, if you take care of the image of your opponent or something like that, if you destroy it, you can destroy anything or something like that. So he decides to punch and kick all of these mirrors in this room, and so that way he won't get confused on where his opponent is. And it's just a really really epic martial arts film. Almost every fight scene in this film is really fun to watch. Um, there's a scene with a snake to take care of the security guard while he's taking care of the drug problem. It's kind of hokey, but um, For the most part, this is easily one of the best martial art films I've ever seen. Yes, it's even better than The Karate Kid, for those of you who have seen that. Um, it's just a really well balanced story. It's just a really, really well written story. Um, and I think Bruce Lee was working on a film over in China when he was first offered this role. They said this will be your big hit in America. This is what happens in Dragon the Bruce Lee story. They even show this scene. They said it's called Enter the Dragon. I think his name is Jerry Weintraub. I think Jerry Weintraub also produced the Karate Kid films. For those of you who have seen those, so I remember his producer in the Dragon movie says, "If you're a part of Enter the Dragon, I guarantee you'll be a huge hit in America." And that was kind of Bruce Lee's ticket back to America. Is he was originally going to just go back there and do even more films and become even more famous over in America after Enter the Dragon. Turns out he died before it was even released in America, and he got famous after his death in America. So that was very unfortunate. He was in a lot of films that got transferred over to the U.S., like Return of the Dragon and Fist of Fury and um, Game of Death, and a lot of famous films that he did over in China got transferred over to the U.S. So yeah, check out Enter the Dragon. It's a classic martial arts film. Even if you're not into martial arts films, it's just worth checking out because it's just that awesome. Um, I'm sure some libraries offer it, but for the most part, you can find it on Blu-ray, maybe on DVD some places. So it's not really common, but it's not extremely hard to find either. I think it's the most common on Blu-ray, like I have here. I think it's actually not too expensive on Blu-ray either. I think it's a $10 Blu-ray disc right now. So for those of you who own a Blu-ray player, this is definitely one of the first films to buy for it. So yeah, check out Enter the Dragon. It's a classic. You got to see it.